Right, what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna replace the ECU on this beast. And the reason I'm doing this, as you know, the last time we chipped the ECU, so to improve power output and fuel consumption and generally run the bike a little bit better. But I find it's a little bit snatchy when you're trying to feather your throttle on the kind of when you're cruising, like you know what I mean, it works like a switch, like either on or off, like, you know what I mean, and it's okay. I mean, it's not a big issue, but the reason I'm changing it, first of all, when I installed it originally, it was as a test bed. I never sealed the unit. That's for a start. Second of all, because I knew I got two different chips of the John. There's one at stage 10, which is kind of new. The other one is stage 9, slightly older. So now what I'm trying to do, we had a spare ECU and I threw away in stage 9 one, and I sealed the unit completely. And what I'm going to do now, I'll just swap them around, and I'm going to see how that is much of a difference, or yeah, just as a test it, like, you know what I mean. Now, it's not a simple job. Well, I mean, the job is simple, plug and play, but well, obviously then just check the throttle bodies, make sure they're synchronized and all that palaver. But the pain is to try to take off all this fairings, the tank has to come off, protection bars, and yeah, just like lots of screws has to be undone. Yeah, but look, I'm kind of bored today, so yeah, trying to do that now. Yeah, I'll bring you along so you can bore yourself watching this. I'm probably gonna put on a fast spin when I do this assembly, and then kind of key moments, like and try to bring you along and show you what happens. Anyway, talk to you in a minute. By the way, I don't know if I showed you the repairs I done years ago on the tabs. As you can see, I just used plastic screws, like it's a plastic bolt with a nut, plastic nut, right? So I think it's like a size 6 or whatever it is. And I used a JB weld. So I put a nut, the bolt in it, and the JB weld it, and then I'm using a nut now, like, you know what I mean. So when I put it through the hole, like, so I can screw in and it sits in place, like, because you can't really buy them brand new now and second hand. They most of them come in with the broken tabs. So yeah, there you go. Useless information for somebody. Yeah, so I'll show you this now. So if you can see right in the yeah, that's another side of the tab, and you can see it's actually the wing nut that I cut it, so it does the job. Like, you can leave the wings on them if you want, but they're just too long, like, so yeah, handy.
Instagram, I do have an account, citation max #1. Post daily content, try to get into some reels, some other good stuff, and it's awesome. You guys ask such great questions, and they're so engaged.
So now we're down to nitty gritty. All the stuff has been taken off. Now to take off the tank, ideally you should disconnect the what you call a battery. That has to come off. Then you can take the tank separately, and there's only one bolt that holds the heater, so we're gonna take that off. And the switch, it's not switch, it's just a connector that connects the fuel pump and the fuel level sensor, so that has to be disconnected. And obviously we're going to clamp off the pipes and just take them off. I don't have a quick disconnect on them, so yeah, it is what it is. And you can see loads of rust here. And you know what, this frame being powder coated and being sandblasted a couple of years back, so there you go, didn't blast. So once we take that off, then we have the access to the rest of it. So let's do this and see where we're gonna end up with. Alright, here's where we stand now. I had to take it out the battery at the same time with the tank because the bolts are stuck on there, and because the nuts right in the tank, I didn't want to destroy that, so I just left it like that and disconnected. It was easier for me. Anyway, here we go, this is the ECU. So I'm going to take this out. It's fairly straightforward. 4 bolts and let me see, can't remember, I've done it like ages ago. Yeah, it's a 4 bolts on the sides, on each side, and that will pop out. Well, you'll see it now. And just a swap, plug and play, like, you know what I mean. So in here you just have like a little clip, which is like you pull the tab and that will disconnect the ECU connector. So yeah, I'm going to do that with the one hand. It's like not wouldn't work, but anyway, you see it.
the airplane and what's gone on the past few days.
Yes, sir. What we did during the maintenance visit was the check 1s, check 2s, which are essentially engine inspections to make sure the engine is wearing properly.
So we can see hooks open there and then just close up. That's it.
Check filters as well, to make sure to check the magnetic particles, to make sure that the aircraft engines are operating efficiently and as well as to the best performance possible for the aircraft.
And then once you do all the inspections, everything gets completed, it gets signed off, and then you guys.
So now everything just goes back in reverse.
Engine runs, checks, and stuff like that.
It's all clean. This unit is sealed.
And for the engine 1 and 2 inspection, how many man hours?
Approximately 10 hours for the left-hand engine and also the right-hand engine.
So it's quite a bit. Well, and then for 4 or 5 hangers, how many hangers? So all this stuff we did beforehand, just double checking. Nothing's new. Screws are in. Alright, here we go. Starting number 1, left-hand engine first. There's N2. And use the fuel. Ignition. The oil pressure tent's coming up. Everything's staying in the green.
That's it. It only takes a couple of seconds to replace that bleeding thing, but everything else has to come up. It just takes
Once
forever.
the engine starts, that generator then helps recharge the battery. The amps go down quite quickly.
So now we're going to do that in reverse now.
So the second generator
Put the tank back on
coming up nice and quick.
and
Fuel.
tighten up everything.
There's
And before I put in the fairings, I'm gonna start the bike, make sure it's running.
Alright, you'll be proud of me. Going to old school today. Getting the clearance, and here we go.
Right, let's start it up and see picture one like. It's rolling anyway.
Engine instruments are clear. Let's go.
Right, so put it back together, everything, and we're going to test drive it for a couple of months and see where we are.
Goes into ignition.
Right, that's it. So
That's crazy. So we have airplanes.
yeah.
Part is remembering which
Right, that's done now. So just left to use the bike for a couple of months, and for you it's going to be a couple of minutes. For me, it's going to be a couple of months, and I get back to you like and let you know if there is any difference or yeah. So we'll see what's the crack, and sure, talk to you in a minute. Boom, 2 seconds later, 3 weeks later. Now, to be honest now, I didn't do much riding. I probably put up about 250 miles, just over full tank. Anyway, straight away I can tell you, huge difference in smoothness. On the old ECU, like and the other different chip, it used to like at idle, it used to hunting like about 150 revs, drop go up, like, you know what I mean, constantly, like. And then when you'd be driving, it was like a switch, like there was no smoothness, especially when you're cruising or decelerating, like it was like a kicks in like straight away. Now, when I changed the ECU, like with a different chip in it, now the one I had was a stage 10, so I presumed there was a different mapping in it, like trying to improve on the mapping. So I put in a stage 9. So I think there was a different mapping on the stage 9. But saying that now, like I cannot confirm 100%, so that's to do, changes to do with that, because I used a different ECU. So I had 2 of them. So instead of like dicking around, like trying to change a chip on this one and waste the time, I had the one already with a different chip in it, and that was the original one. So this one, the stage 10, it was the one I had a spare one, exactly the same one, like. So now I'm not sure now, was that to do with anything with the ECU itself? Was it maybe a little bit faulty, or like some intermittent problem inside internally? So I cannot be 100% sure, like. Now if I used the same ECU, just change a chip, like yeah, that'd be probably more definitive, but I'm not taking the bike apart just to try to confirm that, like. All I know, bike is much smoother, it's just more pleasure to drive, like you don't have to kind of feather around like with the throttle a bit more, so, and it's less hunting. As well as that, probably less what you call basically it's much smoother bike now, so that's all I can tell you, like, you know what I mean. Anyway, that's the conclusion. Otherwise, happy. Just not happy doing the walk, but well, I am kind of happy a little bit. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and sure, hopefully more stuff to come. Just tells you, like you don't have to be mad mechanic or anything like that. Just do your stuff yourself, like, so it is possible. There you are now. Adios.